Tracing your ancestry is becoming easier than ever before. DNA tests can reveal fascinating and helpful information.
Now a new test is uncovering hidden secrets for millions of people. CBS 2 News anchor Janae Ryan shows us how in this CBS 2 special report.
Smoking cigarettes causes 1 of every 5 deaths in the U.S. every year, cutting the average smoker's life short by 10 years at least. Now, excessive drinking kills about 1 in every 10 adults. That average person losing out of about 30 years of life. But this new blood test could save addicts from themselves.
It's a relatively simple process.
A simple process that could solve one of the biggest difficulties in clinical medicine, measuring deadly cigarette and alcohol consumption.
Our usual mechanism for diagnosing alcoholism: you've been arrested, you've been divorced, or you lost your job.
So Dr. Robert Philibert, CEO of Behavioral Diagnostics, wanted to find a more timely way to help people stop drinking and smoking.
They may say they drink 6 or 8 beers just that once, but in all likelihood, you have to become tolerant to alcohol to be able to drink that much.
Soon, it may not matter what they say, because 1 drop of their blood will reveal every drink.
This particular swab, full of blood, has more than enough.
The patented alcohol signature and smoke signature test measure changes of gene patterns within your DNA.
Started smoking, smoker, 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 smoker. Anybody below this 80% is a smoker.
This all began at the University of Iowa around 2007. The National Institutes of Health funded this study, and UI filed for patents. Dr. Philibert co-founded Behavioral Diagnostics in Coralville, and that startup is solely funded by the government, he says, to benefit the public.
We will only use these in the conditions that anyone who is detected of having an alcohol problem gets a chance to go through treatment. Anyone who is smoking in a situation where they shouldn't be smoking gets a chance to go treatment.
The alcohol tests can look at drinking behavior for up to 1 year. The test doesn't have FDA approval yet. Right now, it's only available to attorneys to use for their clients.
You've been arrested for a DWI, and this has just been a one-off. What you'll be able to do is take this test and show the judge that you do not have a heavy alcohol consumption problem.
The test can also help keep children safe.
The biggest risk to that child is substance use and the behavior of their parents. Your attorneys can contact us for assessing the substance use status of someone undergoing a child custody.
He also hopes to keep kids from smoking.
They will be more likely to use other substances, they will engage in other risky behavior, and they are more likely to suffer a rather gruesome death from heart disease, cancer, any of a number of smoking-related illnesses.
Right now, Behavioral Diagnostics is studying corridor high school students, checking in regularly with them and giving them the smoke signature test. Dr. Philibert says in this study, he's found kids use substances much more than they report, as do adults, especially when it comes to what they report to health and life insurance companies.
It's the ratio of this, the ratio of that, and the ratio of this.
Because of that, at least half a dozen firms have reached out to work with Behavioral Diagnostics to check client self-reporting.
What they want to do is more appropriately adjust that premium so it more accurately assesses the risk they're taking.
This new technique could also help stop a major killer right in its tracks: coronary heart disease.
Heart disease and stroke are one of the more preventable diseases. But for us to be able to prevent it, we need to identify these people well in advance and put in place those necessary interventions.
Dr. Mishanthini Dogan started as a graduate assistant to Dr. Philibert at Iowa and is now the CEO of Cardio Diagnostics, funded by Behavioral Diagnostics.
The idea is to tell someone about 5 years in advance what their risk is.
With 1 drop of blood, Dr. Dogan can examine genes and gene patterns to calculate the chances of coronary heart disease and what's contributing to it, like smoking or an unhealthy diet.
We can harness that information to be able to tell you what personalized interventions, not just any interventions, but personalized interventions for you that can truly make a difference in your risk for having a heart attack or a stroke. All they would do is come in, give us a little of blood, and leave.
The follow-up appointment would go something like this.
All right, Misha, you're at risk for heart disease. 80% of it maps to diabetes, 20% to cholesterol, 10% to smoking. You will find the most value in reducing your risk by targeting your diabetes.
After about 6 months of lifestyle change, Misha would give another drop of blood to recheck her risk and reassess her strategy moving forward, hopefully saving her life.
The real payoff will be when kids stop smoking. The real payoff will be when someone realizes that they have no choice but to stop drinking. It'll be better for them, it'll be better for their families, it'll be better for all of us.
After all, we may each have different genetics and gene patterns, but we're all made up of DNA.
Right now, Behavioral Diagnostics is looking to get FDA approval for the smoke and alcohol signatures test. Dr. Philibert expects it to take 2 or 3 years, and Cardio Diagnostics is looking for investors and securing partnerships to conduct validation tests. Dr. Dogan says they're less than a year from rolling out the first version of the lab test. She says they also hope to develop similar tests to monitor stroke and congestive heart failure risks. Janae Ryan, CBS 2 News.